accustomed to preceding the president at various events. Oftentimes it's my duty to introduce him, and he's a hard man to precede. But he is a harder man to follow. But I have to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, what you just saw today is what I see from him every day of the week. That energy, that enthusiasm, that optimism, that strength, that determination. It is my high honor and great privilege to serve as his vice president, and I know that President Donald Trump will make America great again. This is a historic moment for our country. Make no mistake about it. By the confidence of the American people and the grace of God, we have an opportunity to do tremendous good for our country in the next few years. I know that each one of you will rise to the challenge, and I know that the best is yet to come for the United States of America with the great Republican leadership in the White House and in the People's House. It truly is humbling to be with all of you today. I see so many familiar faces in the room. You know, back in Indiana, we have a saying that when you see a box turtle on a fence post, one thing you know for sure. He had help getting there. And there's too many people in this room who know that this box turtle got on this particular fence post with a lot of help from a lot of you. Your support and your prayers and your friendship is a great source of encouragement to me to this very day. And I want to thank you for each one of you for all the encouragement over the years. It was just a few years ago that I was actually sitting in this very same audience, serving in Congress on behalf of the good people of Indiana's 6th Congressional District. And so I know the burden of public service in the Congress. I know the long hours, the travel, days and sometimes even weeks away from loved ones. I want to tell you on behalf of the President of the United States and on behalf of the American people, we appreciate your commitment and your hard work, and even more, I know you won't mind me saying we appreciate the sacrifices that your families make every day to permit you to serve the American people with such distinction. We got many spouses are here this afternoon. From the bottom of my heart, on behalf of the President of the United States and the American people, thank you. Thank you for loving your country. Thank you for loving your loved one. Thank you for your patriotism. Would you members mind getting on your feet and thanking these spouses and family members that make this so possible?
There's one right there.
And before you get too comfortable, my wife, Karen Pence, is here with us today. And she has been traveling with me and working with me for the people of Indiana, now for the people of America. I'm so proud. You know, for all the demands in public life, I know everyone in this room knows that we still don't have the hard jobs in public service. Those come with uniforms. So would you join me in thanking the men and women of our armed forces that may be looking on, all of our veterans, and the many members of our law enforcement community who join us here today. Let's show them how much we appreciate the hard work they do for freedom. You know, the 12 years I spent in the House of Representatives gave me a deep respect for what all of you do as legislators and as members of the Article 1 branch. Not an easy job. As you know, drafting America's laws requires first an understanding of America's principles as handed down in the Declaration of Independence and in the Constitution. Thankfully, we're blessed to have leaders with a long history of doing just that. Leader McConnell, Speaker Ryan, Senator Cornyn, Leader McCarthy. I'm humbled to know you. The American people are blessed by your leadership, and I am proud to call you my colleagues and friends. Let's thank the leadership of this House and this Senate for all that they do for the country and the cause. The American people are fortunate to have leaders of your caliber and conviction, I know full well, having watched many of you over many years. I know your integrity, and I know your commitment. Now, under the Constitution, I want to say that it is my greatest privilege to serve as the President of the Senate. It's kind of new down there for me. New territory. One of the perks is I actually have a fairly nice office just off the Senate floor. I was just in there the other day. But anyone who knows me well knows that I'll also always be a man of the House, and I want to thank Speaker Ryan for giving me an office at that end of the building, too. And I know how difficult it is to organize these get-togethers, so I also want to thank our conference chair, Kathy McMorris Rogers, Mark Strand, the Congressional Institute. Let's hear it for them. This is an outstanding conference. And John Thune, Senator John Thune, conference chairman. Thank you, John. Thank you as well as Senator Thune for doing a great job as conference chair. Couldn't have picked a better place or a more important time in the life of the nation to gather in this bicameral retreat. You know, Pennsylvania played a pivotal role, as you just heard him say, in sending President Donald Trump and me to the White House and keeping a Republican majority in the Congress. And that's no small feat. It's been a decade since our party held both chambers of Congress and the White House, and before that, it had actually been about 80 years since our party had the opportunity to lead the nation. So we owe Pennsylvania a debt of gratitude and thanks for their hospitality and their support just a few short months ago, but we also have to return the favor. We need to repay the hardworking people of Pennsylvania and Americans everywhere who yearn for a better life and a brighter future through our efforts. The people of this nation place their trust in us because we made them a promise. And make no mistake about it, this president and this Congress are in the promise-keeping business. The American people can count on it. We're going to show the American people that the Republican Party has the principles and the policies that will make America great again. We know from experience and from history that we have the solutions to the country's problems. The answer has been the same in every era. Power of the free marketplace, the arsenal of democracy, limited and constitutional government built on personal responsibility, and above all else, a deep and abiding faith in the goodness of the American people. My friends, this is our moment. And we got this far because President Donald Trump marshaled a movement unlike any movement in American history. I saw it. I saw it as I traveled around the country. I'd attend rallies with him where tens of thousands would come out. Or I'd speak at rallies of my own where literally hundreds of Americans would come out to hear me campaign on his behalf. I'm going to tell you, they came out because President Trump is the real thing. He's a doer, not a talker. Although he talks pretty good. When this president talks, he also doesn't tiptoe around anything or anyone. He says it like it is. Speaks straight from his mind and straight from his heart. The American people hear him loud and clear. He's his own man. Independent, strong, boundless energy and optimism. I like to say President Donald Trump is distinctly American. And he's already fighting every day to put our country and our people first. President Trump has already charged headfirst into the fray. Tomorrow actually marks the end of our first week in the White House. He's already signed historic executive orders on Obamacare, on trade, the Keystone and Dakota pipelines, rolling back regulations, starting to build that border wall, enforcing the laws of this country, and the sanctity of life and more. And just this week, this pro-life president reinstated the Mexico City policy banning public funding of abortion in American foreign aid. And as another pro-life American, I couldn't be more proud to stand with him. If there's a problem the White House can fix, rest assured, President Trump and I are going to roll our sleeves up and act swiftly to solve it. The American people expect nothing less. Our challenges are large. They are urgent, and will bring great urgency and executive action every chance we can to address them. What he won't do, however, is follow the last administration's example and try and bypass the people's elected representatives. The President and I have a profound respect for Congress's constitutional role, so I can say unequivocally that President Trump and I will forge a strong, working relationship with the Congress and with all of you to enact the laws that will serve the interests of the American people as contemplated by the Constitution of the United States. Now, we're all one party. We're all striving to achieve the same objective, and together we can do great things for the American people. Now, you already know President Trump's agenda. You heard an awful lot about it today, but I'd like to briefly highlight just a few of our key priorities. The success of our policies depends first and foremost on the confirmation of this world-class cabinet that the President has nominated. I'm proud to say that even before he raised his right hand and took the oath of office, 21 of the 21 cabinet officials had been named. We're pleased that a few have been confirmed by the Senate, but we'd sure like to see the rest in short order sent to their duties so they can serve this president and the American people. We hope you'll move even faster when the president announces our nominee for the Supreme Court of the United States. And I know you all know about the list, and President Trump has been reviewing that list. And he has already indicated that he'll be making a decision and making an announcement next week. But I can already tip you off. President Trump is going to keep his promise to the American people, and he's going to nominate a strict constructionist to the Supreme Court in the tradition of the late and great Justice Antonin Scalia. Count on it. This person will possess a top-notch legal mind, unwavering commitment to the Constitution. We need this person on the bench as soon as possible, given the vacancy that's existed on the court. As you heard the President say today, this administration also will put the safety and security of the American people first and foremost. Providing for the common defense is the first obligation of our national government. And working with all of you, President Trump and I are going to roll our sleeves up. We will rebuild our military. We will restore the arsenal of democracy, and we will at last give our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guard the resources they need and the respect they deserve to accomplish their mission and protect this nation. We'll do it. Our top legislative priorities begin with repealing and replacing Obamacare. President Trump has made it very clear that we need to end this law's burdens on hardworking families and businesses and simultaneously replace it with a better plan based on free market principles and choice. Our North Star should always be lower costs, higher quality, and better access to care for everyone without exception. Economic growth is also one of President Trump's top priorities. I don't know if you all noticed the headlines today that the Dow went over 20,000 for the first time in the history of that average. To unleash our nation's limitless potential, we'll break down the countless barriers that stand in the way of the American people's natural ingenuity and entrepreneurial spirit. Working with the Congress, utilizing the Congressional Review Act, we will roll back the recent avalanche of regulations stifling American growth starting next week. This also means passing real tax reform. It slashes rates for individuals and businesses and working families, makes America the #1 destination in the world for investment and innovation. It means passing regulatory reform beyond the immediate relief under the CRA to prevent unelected bureaucrats from crushing the economy and the American people's dreams from the comfort of taxpayer-funded offices in Washington, D.C. And it means dismantling Dodd-Frank's financial laws, overbearing mandates so that well-capitalized, well-regulated banks can meet the needs of small business, which is the engine of American job creation and prosperity. You know, I was in a meeting just the other day, and President Trump was talking about a guy that owns a couple of pizza parlors in Nevada. Very successful pizza parlors, and he stopped the president on the campaign trail and told him he was trying to get a loan to open a third one, but largely because of the heavy mandates that had followed Dodd-Frank, he said his local bank told him, we just don't make loans like that anymore. I want to promise you, we're going to work with each one of you to make it possible for resources to be available so small business can thrive in America once again. Our agenda also means rebuilding America's infrastructure through better roads, sturdier bridges, newer airports, and plenty of other investments in the future. If you haven't noticed yet, America elected a builder to be the 45th President of the United States, and we look forward to working with each one of you to find ways to meet the infrastructure needs and challenges of this still new century. I could keep going. Point is that by sticking to the President's agenda, we're going to kick the economy into overdrive. We're going to unleash opportunity and prosperity, the likes of which this country hasn't seen in generations. So as I said on my first visit to Capitol Hill after the election, I say with great respect to members of the House and Senate, buckle up. We're ready to go to work. But it's going to be in a partnership with you that'll be the key to making it all happen. For my part, as the leader and the speaker know, and many of you have already heard, I intend to be on the Hill frequently. My door is open to each and every one of you. President Trump and I are committed to working with each one of you for the benefit of the American people. As he said today, that's what we're here to do. This isn't really about party. It isn't about any particular ideology. It's about serving the American people with integrity and passing and enacting the kind of laws that will improve their lives. Our success depends on whether all of us put the good of the country, the people of this country who put their trust in us, ahead of our own personal or political fortunes. And I know you will. We all work for the American people, not the other way around. America has demanded a government as good as our people once again. And our job from this day forward is to rise to the challenge and restore a government that is efficient, effective, and above all else accountable to the hard-working men and women who have been too long forgotten in this country. And they will be forgotten no more with President Donald Trump in the White House. Got a lot of work to do, there's no doubt about that. But I have faith we'll succeed. I have to tell you, people have stopped me once or twice and they've come up to me and said, you've been awful busy, but you don't look that tired. And I tell them, well, to be around President Trump is to be around someone of boundless enthusiasm and energy, and it's contagious. You saw that today, and you can get used to seeing that. I mean, the truth is, I'm very confident we'll succeed because I'm confident in the man the American people have placed in the Oval Office at such a time as this. And I'm confident in all of you because I know you're going to respond to your calling with integrity and determination, and we'll make America great again. It's a historic moment in our country, historic for the Republican Party, for the American people, and for the great nation that we're blessed to call home. If we hope to make the most of this moment, I think we would do well to do one other thing. As we prepare to roll our sleeves up and go to work, to put this new president's agenda into effect, improving the lives and enhancing the security and safety of our nation, the prosperity of the American people to this generation and the next. There's one more thing that we might do, if you're inclined to do it. I have to tell you, it's a great privilege for me to raise my right hand surrounded by all of you on that platform now about a week ago. Incredibly humbling to be surrounded by my family. I only had 2 decisions to make and no speech. And that was who would swear me in And on which Bible would I take that oath? It was my great honor that Justice Clarence Thomas, in his 25th year on the Supreme Court of the United States, administered the oath of office. One of the great honors of my life. When it came to the Bible, I thought about it long and hard. And then we made a call out west to the Reagan Library. And I asked if I might have the honor to take the oath of office on the Bible that our 40th president took his oath of office on. What touched my heart was to find out that the verse that he took that oath on is one of my very favorites. It's one that I often quoted on the campaign trail. And I leave it with you today as an admonition. Because now is the time for us to do our work to support this new president and the confidence the American people have placed in him and in the agenda that they've elected him to advance and elected all of you to advance. But I also think if you're inclined to bend the knee and bow the head, it's a good time to do that too. That verse in President Reagan's Bible, those ancient words, I believe, are still true today, that if his people who are called by his name will humble themselves, he'll hear from heaven and he'll heal this land. It's been true for millennia. I believe it's still true today. If we do all that we can in the momentous days ahead to support the 45th President of the United States, I truly do believe with all of my heart we will make America great again. And we will heal this land. So help us God. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Wonderful to be with you.